We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show, episode 247. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is the current reigning and defending Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion, Scholar Tarek. How's it going tonight, sir?
All is well. Thank you, fool. And right now I just feel all shook up. Oh, hey, hey.
And now, how are you feeling? The current reigning and defending, no longer sick, Scholar Brian.
Awkward after what I've just seen. But you know what? It's about the same as how I felt after watching this week in the draft. So, hey, we're in the same place now.
Wait, Brian. You got to get it right. It is not called the draft. It is the WWE Superstar Shakeup.
That's what Vince McMahon wants me to call it. Fuck Vince McMahon. Moving on.
Yes, we are still reeling from the week that was the WWE Superstar Shakeup. Who went to which show? Which shows now house which wrestlers? Let's get into it. But first, we need to kick things off right around here with a little bit of a segment we like to call Backstage News.
Indeed, we shall begin the show by peeking behind that curtain and checking in on a little
Backstage News. Harper sad, man.
Yes. And now for some sad backstage news. The rumors are true. Luke Harper has requested his release from WWE.
But are we really surprised?
Surprised? No.
sad, yes.
Surprised? Not in the least. The amount of shit he's been talking online about the way the WWE has been treating him recently, I saw this coming a mile away, and it's the problem WWE's having. Couple years back, nobody spoke out. Everyone was pissed off about how they were being treated by creative and all that, but nobody had the balls to speak out. But
because money was on the line.
Started in AEW, comes out, starts with Dean Ambrose. I don't want to be here anymore. Continues on with, even though they're still there, okay, the Revival and the Canellises come out, and it's just a part of the epidemic that's going through the WWE right now. Now that they know that there are greener pastures, okay, everyone who wouldn't have spoken out, wouldn't have requested releases or anything like that even last year, even a year back, now they're all coming out of the woodwork. It's the Sasha Bankses, the Luke Harpers, the people. I respect it more from Luke Harper than I do with what's going on with Sasha Banks right now. But it's Luke Harper was not treated by creative the way that he should have been. And that's not just because I've been told that when I'm very bushy, I resemble Luke Harper a little bit. That's not the reason why I'm saying this. Luke Harper could have been one of the best big men that the WWE had ever seen, wrestling-wise, if they gave him the opportunity that the man deserved. But they didn't, and now that he knows that he can go somewhere else and possibly do better for himself, character-wise and money-wise, okay, he took the opportunity, he gone. That's it.
Yeah.
And kudos to you, sir.
This is more part of a whole system that's been very, very clear that I believe we've all known, but it's never been as clear as it has been lately. Where, because obviously the WWE machine is so massive and has been such a self-contained force that because of the way it operates, yes, it can churn out match after match after match after wrestler after wrestler after wrestler. But at the same time, occasionally someone will fall through the cracks. And because there's such a dense talent pool of talented wrestlers, occasionally the entire system is going to leave someone in the dust, whether it's creatively or from a booking standpoint or from a character standpoint. Eventually, the machine is going to leave some people in the dust. Eventually, creative's not going to have anything for them. And I feel like as good of a wrestler as Luke Harper is, and he is, this is just a victim of the WWE factory machine.
And that's a problem.
And it is a problem. And especially now when there's more alternatives for the wrestlers and more alternatives for the fans. Yeah, if you don't like what's going on in WWE, there are more alternatives than there have been since the days of WCW. Fool, thoughts?
Honestly, I really don't have any real thoughts. It's just sad to see him wanting to go, and it's understandable that he wants to go, but I guess for me, I'm getting kind of tired of just like, oh, people are upset. They want to leave. They go straight to AEW. Yes, we gotta have AEW. It's just one extra thing of many other opportunities that have been there. And if people were upset with their contract, then just wait for it to go out and just leave and do something else. I just am getting tired of everyone's just like, oh, someone wants to leave. We could see him in AEW bound right away.
Oh, I'm not even saying that may have been how I was coming off.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying,
and honestly, it's not just you,
but
it's everybody.
I'm just saying, before anything AEW wise came out about the company, anything like that, none of these people. It's just they're in the WWE. They're making good money, so they're not going to speak up. They're like, okay, we're going to sit here and take it because we're making a shit ton of money. And, yeah, we might not like where we're at right now, but, hey, money. Okay, but...
And to a certain someone, that moment will possibly come.
But, as soon... It started with Dean Ambrose. And he's not even talking about going to AEW at the moment. He's taking 6 months off, and then he's going to reevaluate from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not even a given. It's not even a given that he's completely left the WWE. Because there's every chance he'll come back after those 6 months. So it started with him being, hey, I'm unhappy. I'm not going to sign another contract.
I need a break.
Mm-hmm. But that set off the firestorm with other wrestlers in the WWE. If Dean Ambrose, a guy who's basically almost as high as you can possibly get and not be called Roman Reigns in the WWE, if he's unhappy and talking about leaving, what am I doing? Mm-hmm. So as soon as he did that, that's when all these other guys came out of the woodwork and been like, I'm unhappy. And it just so happened that Dean Ambrose did that about, 2 weeks to a month after AEW said that they were there. So that's the parallel that I'm going with. I'm not saying that they're automatically going to go to AEW. Just nobody spoke up before Dean Ambrose did, and it just so happened that
he set off a chain of events.
Set off a chain of events, and it just so happened that it was around the time that AEW
But it's just reached that point where I'm still looking forward to AEW. I'm getting tired of everyone's like, oh, someone wants to leave. Send AEW, baby.
Yeah. And I've seen what you mean. it hasn't been bugging me quite in the same way, but I do see what you're referring to, and I feel like you're only seeing that reaction, even if people don't realize it, not because everyone is going to go to AEW. It's not realistic. It's not even in everyone's best interests. What I see is more that AEW has become a symbol of the change we're seeing in the industry as a whole. Because it's not just AEW. The fact is, business is booming across every single company that you're seeing right now.
That's exactly right.
AEW, just because of how fresh it is just getting a lot of the buzz and the hype because of what could be, not necessarily what is. Let's face it. Even
NJPW is coming in big. New
Japan has been growing steadily in stateside for quite a while now. Ring of Honor has been growing and expanding their talent pool just as much, and especially now has become the era of the indie guy expanding like crazy. ICW overseas. Just look at what they did for Drew McIntyre.
It feels like the territories are coming back.
It's just the whole. It's just the whole thing that it's really just everyone. It's the internet wrestling community, just basically thinking it's like AEW is just basically the one thing that'll just blow WWE out of the water. That's just the great thing coming. Now WWE sucks. It's going to blow WWE out of the water. It's going to bankrupt it out of business.
Not even a little bit.
I'm like, stop. And I'm like, okay, guys, I know you're excited about AEW. I'm excited about AEW too, but don't overhype it to the point where when it finally comes, it's just going to be like, it's not really. I'm not really feeling it right now.
Because also, let's face it,
it's basically it's ruining the hype for me that. Every time I go onto something wrestling-wise, all people are saying AEW, AEW, AEW.
This is just a matter of people, a vocal minority going into a select group of social media accounts and message boards just blowing things way out of proportion without thinking.
Because let's face it, okay, WWE obviously had a very off year creatively. Last year, okay?
They fell into all the big angles.
They still made a shit ton of money
because
last year.
It's the thing. So like they're crap creatively, but when it comes to the in-ring work, most of them are phenomenal matches.
Yeah, in-ring work and promotional. They're good at the in-ring work and promotional activities. That is their bread and butter. Creative hasn't been good for years now.
If it's not like the stars, it's like when it's like the main guys, when they focus on the main guys, that's where the money is. That's where the actual full creative is. For the mid card to lower talent, there's like little to no storyline.
And that's exactly what I was referring to when I'm talking about the WWE machine. In some areas, yes, there are some things they do very well. And they've just been so huge that they just have resources to produce whatever kind of characters that they care to. However, like we established, because they employ so many people and because they can only direct their attention on so many different storylines all at once, eventually you're going to run into people who just fall through the cracks. Unfortunately, because Luke Harper is one of them, and because there's so many different alternatives now, whether you think AEW is the godsend of the universe or not, or just one of many, the hope is still there. And they're as far as talent goes, alternatives exist.
The real question, do we get the return of Brody Lee?
I am about 95% certain that Brody Lee is coming back to the Indies somewhere, somehow, some way.
And as for Sasha Banks's whole ordeal,
she's not going about it right at all.
She's being a child about it.
Don't even.
All I'm going to say is I'm reserving judgment because I'm reserving judgment, much like the CM Punk incident, I'm not saying it's equivalent, but I'm reserving judgment until the story is complete.
I am going to put it this way, and then we can move on. Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper did it right. Sasha Banks going about it all wrong.
And the whole story is of her and Bayley basically laying on the floor in protest of them losing the tag titles. Again, as Brian put it, the wrong way. That's probably the main. That's one of the big story on why Bayley got such a huge boo.
If that is indeed the reaction, then yes, they do deserve that reaction. However, again, I really don't want to go off of just hearsay. I want to see this rest of the story unfold as it will. But anyway, we could go on about this for quite a while. When in reality, there's a whole lot to talk about just WWE side. Starting with Monday Night Raw, and okay, I think it's time we just address the elephant in the room. What was your reaction as soon as you heard the name The Viking Experience?
What the fuck am I watching?
Silly. Right now, it's not even in the name anymore. As long as they actually are pushed correctly, and from what I saw, what they did in that the 8-man tag, people aren't going to give a shit about the name.
If they,
granted, I still wished it was War Raiders, because
that's a badass name.
Understandable. It's like, oh, Vince is like, oh, I don't want War on WWE television, even though once upon a time
Viking Raiders.
Why'd you get rid of Raiders?
Or how about
Viking Machine?
Or how about the name they originally were going to go with, Berserkers? That is true. Their original name that they were going to go before Viking Experience were the Berserkers.
Why?
It just makes me think of Clerks.
Berserker. All right, but in all seriousness,
if they came out to that theme song, I'd probably be like, okay, I'm gonna let this one slide.
Would
you like some Viking? Fuck Berserker.
In all seriousness, okay,
you were all over that. We're on the Twitter machine.
If they are booked the way they were booked in NXT, yeah, the name is stupid. The names that the guys have now are stupid, but if they're booked the way that they were in NXT, it really doesn't matter.
What names were they changed to? Eric
and Ivar.
Yeah.
But it's like as long as it's still the same.
It's that Vince McMahon meme. Vikings, Paul. Vikings.
as long as they're doing the same shit they were doing in NXT, as long as they keep that vibe. Instead of,
I'm just surprised they were booked
fine.
as the heels. Aren't they a babyface team on NXT?
Well, look at them. There's no way they're coming in as faces.
It is just simply put, Vince does not follow NXT at all. They just look at these guys. I don't know, book them as heels, damn it.
Triple H is probably in the back watching.
They're the new Authors of Pain, damn it.
And he's probably, what the he's
oh no, I think I broke him.
We broke. You thought it couldn't get worse. And he just
what?
There.
It did. Now, okay, here's something that I think you would probably like. Now that they broke up the Riot Squad, at least with Liv Morgan, imagine if Sarah Logan comes in as their valet.
I've heard that idea. Not bad, considering she's actually married to one of them.
That's exactly why and it looks like with the whole people are thinking that's why they gave her such a good rub for the Women's Battle Royal to just establish her
to make her look really badass, so that it would make sense that she'd be leading a Viking squad,
a Viking experience.
Oh. What are we doing?
Do we want to continue on with the Scholars of Wrestling experience or what?
Sure.
Okay.
I think I figured out a title for this episode.
Shut up.
or for this particular one, the shakeup experience.
Well,
we're gonna go with that.
EC3 just got the Braun Strowman experience elsewhere in this show, and
Can we talk about grab a shovel?
Yeah,
You can't come back, especially the way commentary was talking about him. Done, man. Put a fork in him. He's done.
What
I thought
are
he was
you
actually.
doing?
I thought they basically killed the Raw EC3 and just so they could repackage him up for SmackDown, but no. And
Nope, they killed him dead.
Even with
Just watch.
in
He
dark
shows up
matches,
as
he's
Derek
had-
Bateman again next week.
in dark matches, he's been having Drake Maverick manage him. Are they going to bring that to the front of the cameras? What's going on with that? Is that going to be part
I
of his
have absolutely
repackaging?
no idea.
But after
He
the
is
way
just
that they
really in the doghouse.
after
He
the
really
way
is.
they
What did
killed
he
it-
do?
Mm.
What did he do to get him?
There was there's no news reports of anything
other
that
than just the fact that
EC3
he's
did.
in the doghouse.
Yeah, just that he's in the doghouse. Nobody knows why, but okay,
Makes me feel bad for
that
guy.
kind of beatdown. The way commentary was talking about the guy. Okay, you don't come back from that. Okay, even when Hunter Hearst Helmsley was going through his shit in '97 after the whole
curtain call.
curtain call, they never talked about him like that. So it's like I don't know. I think he's done. Unless they repackage him,
Certainly
unless they
isn't
repackage
promising.
him hardcore. Like, if he comes back out as EC3, I'm never going to take him seriously again. That's it. Done.
What a waste. What a waste.
Hey, we're still probably going to get Braun Strowman versus Samoa Joe, but on Raw.
Like that.
I am excited for that, but at the same time, it's like until they're buying their time until they can restart that feud up again.
Once he's sick from Samoa Joe's back from his flu.
Yeah, it's poor EC3. He honestly, sincerely deserves a lot better than this. But you know what? It's not all bad because there are some people in this company who genuinely are getting what they deserve.
Are we talking about Lacey Evans?
Why, yes. Yes, we are. Because, classy ladies always need to get the gold that is entitled to them. And wouldn't you know it, there's a main event feud a brewing, and she beat Natalya this week. So, yeah, she's number one contender. Like a lady. Can we all approve of this? Can a classy lady of WWE get some thumbs up over here?
As long as she doesn't...
She's right now. She's right here. She's slow. Like she doesn't get the full thumbs up. She's just
She's
getting the bar.
No, she's getting two extremely enthusiastic thumbs up from me.
I'm not.
Raw's going to get a whole lot classier.
As long as she doesn't win in her first shot.
I hope she wins and just goes on like a 6-month winning streak.
No.
Yes.
No.
By the way, have either of you seen there's a sort of a trending Twitter thread on that just popped up just today?
Is it the trash can thing?
Lacey Evans' trash cans.
I actually think that's why you're such a huge fan of her right now. Just from all the different trash cans.
I am a trash can enthusiast. Yes. You didn't know this, did you?
You do know you're garbage.
Knee slapper. Shut up.
Okay.
So yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. At least all the bigger things that I cared to come away with.
The Miz beat up Shane McMahon again. Oh, shit happens. Move on.
AJ Styles. He's the biggest name that came out of this for the Raw side.
Very true.
And
Superstar
it makes
Shakeup.
me excited for what's to come, knowing what happened on SmackDown.
Well, yeah, let's get into it. What did happen on SmackDown? First of all, the show opened with
Quite possibly the greatest segment I've ever seen.
with WWE Championship, with the WWE Champion who held the Scholars of Wrestling Championship at one point, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods allowing Kevin Owens to be an honorary member of the New Day. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Kevin Owens. Big O.
With Kevin Owens, didn't he do like all the Big E classics? The
Yes,
moves and all
Pretty
that?
much, yeah.
Did you see Big E's reaction to it? He just posts a picture on Twitter, and he's just going,
Eh?
Is this the start of his heel turn when he comes back?
No.
there's going to be no heel turns. I hope
better
there are
not.
no heel turns from anything.
I swear to God, it's still there. It's I don't know why. Every time I see Kevin Owens in a face team teaming up with people, it's always in the back of my head. When's he gonna do it?
He's like,
When's
he's
he gonna
known
do it?
to turning, but
He's gonna turn.
Not
He's
yet.
gonna turn. And that's it.
I want this to be a nice long face run for a good long
Yeah.
while with Kevin Owens, because my God, he is just he's a natural everything.
He's
But in this case, he is
yeah.
a very natural baby face. I don't even think it's because they were in Montreal for this. I think for any crowd, they would have enjoyed this.
He ate a whole plate of pancakes. Yes.
Oh, he enjoyed those pancakes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you want to get
They're
into,
so dry. They're
if-
cold.
I'll tell you what. If you want to get the attention of my wife and I, she's a big fan of the New Day. I'm a big fan of Kevin Owens. By the time we saw this, we're just like, okay, all right, I'm
This is a
digging
win.
this. All right,
This is a win.
I can appreciate this. Just like I can appreciate Kairi Sane coming to SmackDown.
My roommate's
Teaming
wet
with
dream.
Asuka.
My roommate's wet dream.
Managed by Paige.
That was the wet dream of mine about 10 years ago.
Pete, I walked in the apartment.
Please don't tell me he had his hand in his
No,
pants.
no. I walked in
Two Asian ladies.
to I walked into the apartment on Tuesday,
Don't tell me Season walked in with two hands.
and
in
he
her
was
pants.
like,
We don't talk about that. Shh.
and he just looked at me, and I was like, I know. He was like, you don't need to say anything. I know. And he's just like, I need a photo stat, like the AJ Lee photo.
He doesn't know about the videos, does he?
I don't believe so.
Who
knows?
I would never set foot, if he ever finds out, I would not set foot in that apartment again. Just forewarning you.
I feel like you're gonna pull the Paul Rudd and go to their apartment with just a big stash. This is porn.
But you know what?
This is just videos of Asuka and Kairi Sane. Here, have it. Enjoy. You're gonna 40-year-old virgin Pete.
But
Here,
you know
take
what?
it.
It's also moving on from the. But
No,
it's
we can't
also
move on
very
from this.
good, especially Kyrie Sane pinned Peyton Royce. So are they like? Is she coming up, and they're basically getting first shot at the women's tag team titles? I'm down with this. Kyrie Sane's a pirate. I like pirates. Go for it.
I can certainly see them doing that because let's face it, Asuka alone still has quite a bit of momentum. She's still Asuka, and Kairi Sane is still every bit the same awesome elbow dropping pirate that she always was. So,
and the people who should be challenging are throwing a fit right now. So let's move on from them. And that's it. No rematches for you if you're going to be a bitch about it.
I will say this. The SmackDown women's roster definitely got a major boost from the Superstar Shakeup.
Ember Moon, Bailey.
Ember Moon, Bailey, Kairi Sane. Actually, I think that's it for the Superstar Shakeup. But when you look at like the roster and all, it's a great roster. Like all the people can at some point can go for the SmackDown Women's title or the Women's Tag Team Championship. Like you can definitely mix these women around to a point where when you see one going for the SmackDown Women's title, two are going for the tag team titles, it just feels right. Like I can see that. With Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, you have Kairi Sane and Asuka with Paige as their manager. I can't really say Bailey and Ember Moon because they're not really, they're more they're going to be
more of a convenience thing.
more singles than anything group than anything. But Asuka and Kairi Sane could go in singles. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose could go as singles as well. They could go for the singles belt. It definitely works. It definitely works more than the Raw women's roster, which is. Oh, and you also have Charlotte and other woman that I'm not really going to mention because I don't like her very much. Every time.
Carmella! Haha!
There, you said it for me.
Almost got killed by Lars Sullivan. So there you go.
Almost got eaten.
Yeah.
Looks like he was like, you look delicious.
I like you.
It's like, I think someone online posted it as King Kong looking at the blonde woman and falling in love, but in a more creepy fashion because Lars Sullivan is one just big creepy dude.
The only meme I saw was Lars Sullivan being actually a grown-up version of the baby Gene Snitsky kicked into the crowd all those years ago.
Oh my god! Yes, I've seen that.
And talk about a downturn.
Lars Sullivan
wants eat. Lars Sullivan.
Lars hungry. Lars wants eat.
Lars Sullivan takes out Kurt Angle. Takes out Rey Mysterio. Takes out R-Truth.
Takes out the Hardys.
Takes out the Hardys. Yeah, he took out the Hardys. He took out Kurt Angle. He took out Rey Mysterio. Takes out R-Truth. Now, I like R-Truth. I like him a lot. Okay? But, okay.
Are you insinuating R-Truth as a step down from
In
all
those
the other people he attacked?
In those four names that I just mentioned.
R-Truth is a legend.
In those four names that I just mentioned, who is the odd man out?
R-Truth is a legend.
Here's another question. Who is he going to attack next?
Drake Maverick. No, just kidding. No.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Seriously though, who do you think will be next?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else is left. Probably some sort of returning veteran, I guess.
John Cena.
I'm not
They'll
sure.
save that. They'll save that.
They'll
match.
save
It's supposed
that
to be for
for-
WrestleMania for SummerSlam.
So, I just think he'll start. I can't even give you a name. He'll just attack random people until.
He'll just attack random people until he gets fed to Roman Reigns.
If there was another major legend that they're going to be going with that, they would have picked someone other than R-Truth. I think R-Truth is them saying, you know what, we're running out of ideas. We're running out of old bodies.
We're running out of legends. We're gonna have them attack randoms now. That's it.
And eat them.
And ogle the ladies. This is the Sullivan.
This is the Lars experience.
No wonder Carmel was so scared.
I stare at you women, lick my lips, and then fuck up your boy. That's it.
Oh boy.
It's the Lars experience. That's it.
But even then, before the night was out, we still had to deal with the Vince McMahon experience, where he revealed the brand new, the biggest acquisition of SmackDown history.
You liar!
Elias.
Elias. That was
Well,
great.
my wife was happy.
You knew.
I was actually kind of shocked at this one. I actually thought Elias was definitely like more of a Raw guy. I just don't see him more of a. I don't see him on SmackDown.
I don't think anyone did.
And then you got Dun.
But I feel I feel
The
like
big dog.
that. I honestly feel that this is a good move. I honestly
For which
feel
one?
like this Roman Reigns.
Okay, I'm like Elias is a good move.
Elias
Elias
has fallen
is a
off
good
so
move.
far right now that the last 2 weeks have been great. When he's getting beaten up by John Cena, The Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, and Roman Reigns. I like the guy. Okay, but if that's all he's gonna be, I'm fine with that. But going back to Roman Reigns. First of all, I always like when Vince McMahon gets beaten up, so that's a plus for me. Doesn't matter who's doing it. So that's
Fair enough.
Second of all, Roman Reigns is on SmackDown. Seth Rollins is on Raw. We can stop with the Shield bullshit now.
Now we're just going to see Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, champion versus champion at Survivor Series.
No.
Oh, Seth Rollins.
Gonna happen now.
Seth Rollins.
I don't wanna.
Seth Rollins.
No, I don't want it. No.
Seth Rollins supposedly. Okay, since he's now put it in my head, the little fucking leech. Okay. At least until Survivor Series.
No, I don't want it. No.
Can have a nice long run as champion without worrying about the specter of Roman Reigns behind his back. Because we all know what's going to happen. Roman Reigns is going to become WWE champion at some point this year.
Before Survivor
we know
Series,
it's going to happen.
So you can have a champion.
We know it's going to happen. It's the cancer comeback. It's happening. But, okay, he's all for all. We could stop talking about the Shield and all their various...
We're not going to stop talking about the Shield till Sunday because, they have that Shield special on the WWE Network.
And you know what? That's fine because it's only a special. It's
that they
not a
promote
match.
The hell out of.
It's not a match. That's fine. It's not a special. It's something for people to watch. It's a documentary. The WWE documentaries are always good. Okay, so that's perfectly fine. But after that, okay, we don't have any of this Shield teaming up. Thank God that Monday night was the last 6-man tag that features members of the Shield versus Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Thank God.
I hated that.
Thank Jesus.
Stop teaming Drew McIntyre with Baron goddamn Corbin.
Maybe now that the Shield isn't there, they will. And then you don't have the Spectre.
God, they're still on Raw together. It's not going to be the last we're going to see of those three.
But now you don't have that specter of Roman Reigns behind Seth Rollins. Oh, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are going to fight for Shut up, Tori. No, Seth Rollins is going to give his best friend a shot at the Universal title. Of course he is. No, he's not. He's on SmackDown now. So I think that it was the best move for all involved. I think that it's actually a smart move, and I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with. I'm okay with it too. The one thing I definitely liked about it was the fact that
I don't like how they built it up, though. I'll give you that. The biggest SmackDown acquisition of all time. Fuck off.
I was expecting a swerve right from the get-go, and that's exactly what we got. And then we got the real big name acquisition, just like we did on Raw the previous night.
Like I said, the one thing I do like about it is now it definitely feels more like Roman Reigns, not I beat cancer. I appreciate all life now. Roman Reigns is
that's done.
I am badass Roman Reigns now because you could just tell he was just ready to kick ass and take names.
Didn't say words, just fucked them up.
That spear he did to Elias was just brutal.
I think
ready for a Roman Reigns experience.
I feel like that was the best spear he's done since those early 6-men. Since the one where he came in off camera and speared the shit out of CM Punk. Since that one. That's the best spear he's done.
I just hope... I know it's going to happen. This is just basically talking to dead air pretty much. I just hope he just doesn't get just... Basically, he's like, okay, I'm back. Oh, look, that Super Mario star. Infinity. It just runs through the entire SmackDown roster. And I think that's going to happen because
it's
here's Todd Phillips was pretty much the new Michael Cole and sucking the Roman Reigns,
big dog.
Penis. Oh, he really is the greatest thing. He's the greatest acquisition in SmackDown history. Oh my God, I love Roman Reigns. We all love Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the best, isn't he? Isn't he so great? Isn't he so great? He's just the best. He's the best around. He's the best acquisition. Oh, we love Roman Reigns. We love Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
That was Todd Phillips.
The Roman Reigns experience. Was that good for you too?
I don't know. I hated it.
So
I
anyway,
need to wash that out of my mouth. Yeah.
all right. So we went over a whole bunch of shenanigans for both shows. Raw versus SmackDown Live. Which one was a better show, and which one came away with the better recruitments from the better walkaways, the takeaways from the Superstar Shakeup?
I'll say that SmackDown was better for me to watch. I had more fun watching it, but it's not like last year where Raw came out. The last 2 years where Raw obviously came out on top. It was so I feel like this year was a lot more balanced. I feel like I honestly don't think one particular show got a better group of people than the other. Like, this is the first one I've felt in a while where I was like, there's not a huge discrepancy in the talent that Switch shows. I'm like, you had the second tier star at the beginning of the show each time. Okay, you had The Miz switch over to Raw. You had Finn Balor switch over to SmackDown. I was like, okay, that's a good mix right there. Okay, you had the two top guys of each show switch, AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good, and then it was just a good mix. So the SmackDown got the better women's tag teams, Raw got the better men's tag teams. That kind of deal. It's
I wouldn't
Fair
even.
enough.
It's a lot balanced. Nobody got any better than anybody else.
Well, I'll just say they got the SmackDown got the better SmackDown got the better women's division, and Raw got the better tag team division.
I'll give you that. Yep.
That's what's even them out. And then when it comes to the singles competitors, yeah, I do agree. It is kind of, they really did balance each other out. But when I feel like who got the better Superstar Shakeups, I'm gonna go with SmackDown. And when it comes to better show, that's a hard one because Raw actually was a really good show, but the good things about it, like I liked Finn Balor versus Andrade. I actually thought, I'm like, oh well, since Samoa Joe's not coming to Raw, Finn's gonna have it, and we're gonna have a good series of Andrade versus Finn.
What a Bill's kill that was!
And that, well, I don't know if you guys saw my tweet after Finn was announced for SmackDown. I'm just like, Finn Balor's on SmackDown? Oh wait, he brought the Intercontinental Championship with him to SmackDown? I'm on cloud 9 right now. I am super excited. Yeah. And who knows? Maybe we'll even see Finn Balor winning the WWE Championship at some point.
Hey, it's not the most unrealistic.
It's not out of the
option in
realm of
world.
possibility.
Yes.
Finn moved out of Raw, which is the realm of the big men. So, and now he's on SmackDown, where all the little guys are basically putting on great wrestling matches.
Except for the elephant in the room, Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, he's the one big guy. Yeah, shit.
Yeah. Even so, he still has the D.
He has a better chance of actually winning the belt than on Raw.
Yes, indeed, he does.
And let's face it, all the guys who can help out Roman Reigns to a great match are on SmackDown. So hey,
but that's
but
you really can't
Roman
Reigns.
Roman Reigns is not, and let's remember
he doesn't need the guys to put on a great match. But now it's just he can put on a great match. The other guys can put on great matches. We're gonna get fantastic matches.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with this Superstar Shakeup.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. This I think that this was. I don't like how they do it. There's hey, I'm here. They could. I want them to bring back the
more pomp and circumstance.
I want them to bring back the draft, if you will.
Which version of it?
The Titantron They do the random,
More ceremony.
more random. You know it's not random, but they do the random on the Titantron.
I did like the fact that Raw and SmackDown guys were fighting each other for the.
Yeah,
I liked that.
I
Like if Raw won, they get
legit.
the pick.
That's what I want. Raw versus SmackDown. Whoever wins gets the pick, and you know it's not random, but random up on the screen. That's what I want to come back.
I like that too.
But in all the years that they've done the shakeup, the way that they've done it, I think that this was the best one that they did. The most balanced. Everyone came out basically the same as they came in, and with just different faces, but still the same amount of talent, and that's fine.
You know
Yes.
what?
It was fine.
You know what I find interesting? A little interesting fun fact on this.
What?
Like, I really thinking about it. When it comes to the Superstar Shakeup format of the draft, I think The Miz has changed show every single time.
He has.
Yep.
Someone actually ran that statistic.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been drafted in every single draft or Superstar Shakeup. He's
Draft-
changed shows
draft, no.
every single time.
I actually had a friend look this up too when it comes to the original draft, no, but when it comes to the Superstar Shakeup format, yes. Which I think is just hilarious. So it's like, all right, let's get invested on Miz on Raw. All right, next year
no.
he goes to SmackDown. Oh, so much for that.
All right.
All right.
But even so, as far as who I felt came out in the better in this draft, there you go again, the Superstar Shakeup, I'd say this is the closest it's been in quite a while. But I have to give the edge just barely just to SmackDown in this regard, just surely on personal preference. No other factors. Just I feel like more of the people I like got moved to SmackDown, generally speaking.
Well, that's what happened when SmackDown's going to Fox this October.
And there it is.
Send the best guys to that show.
Which is exactly why Roman Reigns got sent over.
Afraid so, but at the same time, it's not like Monday Night Raw is necessarily lacking either. And yeah, at least Lacey Evans is still on Raw, so yeah, I'm going on with Raw and wins this week in terms of shows.
So which show is Becky Lynch going to go on? Is she going to be Is she going to be a Raw person, or is she going to be a SmackDown person?
I'm calling it right now. She's going to lose the Raw Women's title to Lacey Evans, and then she's going to go. She's still technically on SmackDown, so she's going to have a much more extended program with someone on the SmackDown brand for the SmackDown Women's title.
Cool.
That's my earlier prediction.
Coco.
Those are what we thought. Now we want to hear from you. What did you think of Superstar Shakeup? Which brand just came out smelling like roses? Was there any major things that you missed or did not want? We open the floor to you. Track us down all over the internet. Facebook, YouTube, everywhere we are, join us with that. Especially if we're talking the Twitter machines, where you can join us for conversations every single day about all things wrestling. Starting with @ScholarsOW for all the latest wrestling and episode uploads. And you can also follow us on our individual wrestling Twitter accounts for all things conversations. Full Champ, where can I reach you?
You can reach me at the Avatar.
Brian, where can I reach you?
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can reach me at I'm Robbie Rage. Join us all for more fun, and hey, next week we'll all see where this goes and where all the fallout goes and who's going to be fighting who next.
And it all leads to Money in the Bank. That's right.
That's coming
starting
too.
next week. We are gonna have the beef case sitting above us as we build for Money in the Bank, and one of these two are gonna be the new Scholar in the Bank.
Yes,
That's what Money in the Bank's gonna be all about this year.
Yeah, and trust me, I want that beef case because you know who we are. We're the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. The road to the Money in the Bank goes on.